Hey, everybody. I've got a little mail day. Take two. Hey, everybody. I'm doing a little mail day opening just because some fun stuff came in. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about what I'm collecting lately. So I'm really getting into certain artist altars. I really enjoy when you have something kind of unique. And so my Toothy deck, which is probably my most valuable deck at this moment, has a bunch of altars in it. And I really just enjoy just seeing what an artist will do and if it fits in kind of the theme. I'm also a real big fan of like the hand-painted brush work. So I was trying to work with an artist previously, but they kind of failed out, to get all of my lands done in like a panorama style. So that way they could all, if they were all out in play, you would see some kind of cool islands, something or another. Anyway, so I'm cracking this little box that came in today. So this is a, this is a World Championship edition. So this is what would be called the gold bordered. And they altered it, and they're not cute. They even have like a little certificate of whatever. Kind of neat. But if all looks good, this is why I bought it. Yeah, there we go. So what they did was they took a Grim Monolith. And again, this is a gold bordered version, and they actually show in the pictures how they covered it up. But they put a nice fine paint on it, and so you have the original art right here with the paint all around it to give it kind of a really unique flair. Is it technically tournament legal? No. Do I care because I really only play Commander? Absolutely not. I think there's a real opportunity. If you like these types of altars, don't worry if it's a gold border or whatever. Because at least when it comes to my shop, I don't, unless it's like glaringly obvious that you're trying to put cards in with the intention of cheating. If it's printed by Wizards, it's a legal card when it comes to my tournaments. That's the old idea behind Commander format, is that it was meant to be more for the casual player. So, I mean, tournaments are actually kind of weird and anathema in tournaments or with Commanders. But the point I'm trying to say is have fun. Bling out your deck. Go with the artist altar. Go ahead and buy some gold borders and have a little fun with it. Anyway, this is a nice little pickup I had here, and I just thought you might want to see that. So I put in the background some of these tournament editions, and that's the next thing I purchased. I just want to give you kind of a heads up on how that's going. The reason why I'm into these particular, first of all, they just look cool. I mean, it's all the original art. They're not crazy expensive yet. And some of these do have reserve list cards in them. For example, Mirage has potentially Lion's Eye Diamond, which is a ridiculously expensive card right now. And so that there's, try getting a sealed actual box of Mirage. It'd be thousands of dollars. But you can get these for usually a couple hundred, maybe a little more. And what I realized was they started with, let me put this up here real quick. They started with Ice Age over there. And then they every block, they put out another tournament edition. So for those that don't remember what the blocks were we used to actually have Magic the Gathering in sets of 3. So, for example, Ice Age also was the starter block for the Icy World, if you will, followed by, I believe, Cold Snap and a third one. Very famously, you had like Ravnica, which had Ravnica Allegiance, what was the other one? Ravnica Allegiance, you had Guilds of Ravnica, and then you had War of the Spark, which were all taking place on Ravnica. So that's how, basically from the beginning, how most sets were, or how most blocks were. They were blocks of 3. With Theros, you had Born of the Gods, you had Theros, you had Journey into Nyx. These were all on the world of Theros. So just something kind of interesting for those people that are into this kind of stuff. I like collecting. I'm a big collector. I'm a player too, but I like collecting. And, so some of these are just kind of eye-catching to me. And I just added in the block that I want to say is really the block I first got into Magic. I, of course, was very well aware of Magic back in the ABU era, but I was aware of a lot of card games that came out in that era. I would like to say that probably my first official set was Legions, but it was all part of the official Onslaught block, which is actually where the fetches came from. The original fetches came from Onslaught. So this is going to make it to my wall right here. And eventually the idea is I'm going to get these little tournament editions for each set that came out and then have them on like a nice little display. What am I going to do with the extra ones? Glad you asked. There's going to be a big raffle probably in the next few weeks, maybe a couple months, where you'll see probably one or two of these Mirage boxes, maybe a Tempest box. I don't know if you can tell, there's some Urza Saga over here, which of course Urza Saga Gaia's Cradle. So yeah, there's some stuff I'm kind of putting together, but I want to make sure I've got it all together first. And if I can get the stream set up right, this Sunday, I'm going to be cracking one of these graded cards over here. Because a lot of people have asked me, what exactly are the graded cards? Why are they important? Why are they worth more money? So for those that don't know, real quickly, the graded cards, kind of think of it like if you're a comic book collector or an art collector. Obviously, you're not playing these cards. What you're basically saying is that this card, for whatever, whether it's a sentimental reason or a financial reason or because it's in damn perfect shape, is something that you want to keep and display, but not necessarily play. So they go ahead and send them into, there's Beckett, PSA, there's several other agencies, but Beckett's probably the most popular. And they get these items graded. Now, the higher the grade, the higher the cost. And you can crack these out. Granted, you don't keep the grade anymore. Once you've cracked it, I mean, these are actually really hard to crack. You have to crack it using a set of pliers and a hammer at some point, screwdriver. It's a kind of a bitch, to be honest. I've done it before on the channel, but I just want to let you know I'll be doing it this weekend to kind of show you how you can actually get cards out of there. Now, here's a little trick. Here's a little something to think about. A lot of times, like for example, this 7.5. This 7.5 Unlimited Savannah right here, okay? Been graded a 7.5, but everything else on it is pretty decent, okay? And if you were selling this or buying this, you would probably say this is near mint, which a 7.5 really is pretty close. 8 is actually near mint. So I'm going to take this Mox Diamond over here. So a Mox Diamond is equivalent to TCG Mint, or an 8 is equivalent to TCG Mint, just so you guys know. So there's not a lot of premium on these cards when they're an 8. But as you start going up into the 9s and 9.5s, which I have a few up here, I'm trying to get all the duels, there is definitely premiums. And it just depends on which ones you're looking at. But a 9.5 is you can see anywhere from a 10%, depending on the card, upwards to 50, even 100% over what a TCG mid 8 would be. So that's where the collectible market comes from. There's, of course, Facebook groups and everything else. I will say it is a little more complicated selling them. So let's say you hold on to it and the value goes up, you want to sell them. You do have to get in contact with the right people that actually want to buy them and not crack them. Because once they hit a 9.5, no one's going to be cracking it out of the case. If it's a 7.5 or an 8, which is equivalent to a near mint, I crack cases that are 7.5s or 8s. One thing to be aware of, sometimes you can find low-grade cards. So you can find them on eBay or wherever, and they're like a 4.5, a 5, a 6, which would be considered to most people an LP, maybe an MP, still very highly playable, but because the graded market doesn't care about those cards as much because they want the higher end stuff, you often can get those for substantially less than other cards, and it has the benefit of being authenticated. So when you're looking to put some real money into some of these cards, that's one way. So look for, let's say you need yourself a Savannah and you don't want to play near mint price, look for a graded one that's like a 4 or 5 or a 6. You probably can save substantially. And again, you don't have to worry about authenticity issues because Beckett basically guarantees it. So just some things to think about. But yeah, I wanted to check in with you guys, let you know what I've been collecting lately. It's mostly these sealed boosters right here, the tournaments. To my knowledge, these all came with 3 rares. And then I believe there was 5 or 10 uncommons. I can't remember. I'll have to look that up. And then, of course, the commons from the relevant set. But it's just something kind of neat. I'm seeing a little bit of movement on these, but more it's just kind of, it's for the collection. I just enjoy collecting things. So, all right, everybody, that was my little stream today. Thanks very much for watching. I'm going to set up an auction for Friday night auctions in just a couple hours. So look forward to that coming out. We should have some fun stuff. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.